About a week ago, I decided to get on a plane and head to Orlando to the International Builders Show just to see what the industry is up to. 80,000 people attend the International Builders Show, and it's combined now with the Kitchen and Bath Show. 1,600 exhibitors show up in two huge halls. It took me a day and a half to walk the floor, and I went home exhausted. Here's what I observed in those 2 days. Let me just start with Kohler. Everything at the show just reinforced that modernism is really kind of where it's at. Less and less traditional stuff. Kohler's a good company to observe because they kind of capture what the market is up to and show it in all their offerings. One of the trends this year was to black fixtures. Also popular is the farmhouse look. Not sure how that fits with the contemporary thing, but hey, there you go. We're back to the time of overindulgence, and this plumbing system for multi-head showers kind of exhibits that. Then there are the toilets, and Kohler's trying to keep up with Toto here, which is a whole remarkable thing unto itself. At the Toto booth, I saw toilets as practically a fetish. There is almost nothing that the toilet can't do for you. It is a remarkable company. The innovations are amazing, including actually generating power from the flush to power the features of the toilet. And they're into tubs and faucets and the rest of it, and in this just kind of luxurious, modernist dream world of bathrooms. One of the things I liked is the notion of wall-hung units, and also a trend definitely towards what they call wet wall, which is laminate or other solid surfaces rather than tile in showers. And I saw a few different versions of that. I kind of like this little shower caddy insert that's part of that system from Kohler. I saw this wet wall idea from a couple other companies, including Wilson Art, and a company from the UK who had brought the product here and was hoping to launch it. So I think we're going to see this as a trend away from tile in tub surrounds. The UK company also had it as a kitchen wallboard. As a designer, I'm always have my eye out for all the different finish materials, of which there were many. The color palette remains decidedly neutral. Lots of gray, beige, brown, natural colors. Not a lot of brightness. Also not a lot of ornament. Lots of clean lines. The traditional moldings and stuff just weren't there. One of the things that was kind of cool from Wilson Art was this writable surface. That's fun. And there was recycled wood. I didn't take any pictures, but our friends from Pioneer Millworks were there. Fun to see them. And here's a peel and stick recycled wood barn board. I was sort of disappointed not to see some robotics present. Maybe they were there in the background of these products, but there was some CNC stuff. CNC does produce some pretty intricate quote-unquote wood carving. But like I said, this traditional look is definitely on the way out. There were a couple of really large format printing systems, like this one that prints on glass, tile, with a little texture to it. Pretty fascinating. I did see a couple digitally fabricated products that I liked. I really liked these lattice panels, exterior lattice panels. There were a couple companies showing that. And this wall treatment, which actually came from a kind of a startup company created by two guys from a local school here in Avon, Connecticut. I like companies that know what they do and do it well, like this Craftsman post wrap from the column company H&G, or this rock system from McNichols, the steel fabrication company. There were a lot of interesting cladding systems that move away from traditional clapboard shingles. I'm particularly interested in some of these thermally modified wood products, especially these that use ash. But beyond that, it's also intriguing to see the many, many ways in which they create fastening systems that create rain screens. And there were many of these, and it was pretty cool just to see the variety of approaches that are engineered. I do love all the inventive products that make building various forms simpler, like this arch system, all kinds of deck fastening systems, engineered solutions for joining decks to buildings and dealing with structural connections, and systems to float decks. I really love these products. I think the timber framers know about them, but really high-tech fastening systems for posts and beams without traditional joinery. I think it's time to talk about the Chinese exhibitors. 23% of the exhibits were from China, 338 exhibitors. I checked, and 35% of the exhibitors are from the United States. So it's rather remarkable. I think when I looked into it and looked at afterwards online at some of these companies, it sort of makes sense that everything is being made in China, and they're bringing the products that they've learned to make and become expert at manufacturing and bring them to the trade floor here. It really is sort of hard to fathom, though, how to communicate. The English isn't great. There's not a lot of interaction. And it's going to be very interesting to watch and see how this integrates with our industry. Speaking of subcultures, it was just fascinating to see the number of Orthodox Jews who were there representing companies, especially in kitchen stuff, kitchen cabinetry. Fascinating. Getting back to the show, it was great to see that there was actually a section dedicated to home performance and a stage there that our friend Kevin Ireton had teamed up and organized to present step by step all the stages of dealing with retrofits in buildings. Their team included building scientists who explained the principles, a contractor who talked about the nuts and bolts of getting the work done, and Kevin, who was sort of the proxy for, gee, can you explain how this actually works? Here's a question I have, sort of for the audience. I caught a few minutes of the show and thought they did a really good job. While there's pretty scant interest in home performance generally at this show, I did see some products I liked. A graphite-based R5 per inch EPS high PSI insulated sheathing that, unlike zip sheathing, the OSB is installed directly to the studs, not from the outside. Barrier fabrics from a company called Term that are entomologists. How about that? A few different companies with tape, some I'd never heard of before, and others dealing with penetrations in the building envelope. Georgia Pacific has their version of zip, some interesting foam extrusions to work with concrete for foundations, including shallow frost-protected foundation slab-on-grade systems. There were many window companies, but a pretty much total absence of triple glazing, though I did see Anderson has a triple glazing line that I wasn't aware of. At their booth, they also showed a line that they were bringing out from a company from Canada called MQ that was a tilt-turn frame, though they seemed to think of it as a luxury item. I'm not sure he was even aware that that was a technology for triple glazing. I did see a Facro deck window that you can walk on. Interesting. But every company had giant floor-to-ceiling glazing and doors like folding doors like NanoWall. They were ubiquitous. And of course, to go with that, you have to have these crazy screen systems and, of course, moment frames. When it comes to interior doors, there's just two words, barn door. There were just all kinds of varieties of barn door hardware just about everywhere, and all kinds of crazy industrial and other whatnot doors, small doors, things to put indoors. There's also, in the kind of contemporary thing, a kind of jamless door with no trim, and other kind of interior door systems for glazing inside. There's kind of a unique system for interior trim installed with magnets. Yeah, that's right. And what show would be complete without a bomb shelter? On the HVAC and mechanicals front, there wasn't a whole lot. I love seeing the products from Breeze, the ventilation. There were some interesting inline fans. I kind of like seeing the Mitsubishi floor unit, which I'm intrigued by and may use some point. It was interesting to me to see that American Standard had a mini split, and Takeo always has some really innovative controls. On the lighting front, there was a ton of stuff integrating LEDs into mirrors, backlit, and whatnot. I like the products from Tech Lighting, and this really nice kind of channel that integrates rails for spots in it. These fun trims for LED recessed, magnetic puck lights, all the things from Halo in terms of low-profile LED and the various trims. Just plenty of products like that. This fun ribbon system for cabinets from Hefele. What a great company. And finally, just tons of stuff about smart home and smart light fixtures, and the whole thing I'm still sort of dubious about. Solving problems we don't have, but that's a whole other topic. Then back to the stick to your knitting department. I think Closet Made does a really good job with their various systems for outfitting closets. It's all nicely thought through at various price points. Also the stuff, lots of other companies doing this stuff, and I saw a bunch of it. I like the stuff from Hefele. I said that already. Some of this stuff is a bit on the luxury side, but kind of good to know about. Then crazy fun stuff like coffee makers built into the walls, kind of K-cup stuff. And while we're on coffee, how about a job site coffee maker? And while we're on the job site, how about this sweeper that just picks up everything? Then all kinds of inventiveness around getting washers and dryers to fit to the wall, which, hey, it's a gnarly problem. But how about this? You like central vac? How about central laundry suction? And while we're on crazy, how about just crazy fun? A bathtub for bicycles, this Chinese awning, and how about this for just plain fun? Appliances from the company Smeg. I like the True Form concrete forming system for sinks, etc. And how about this floating stair? There were a few things like this isokern pizza oven. And how about something that lifts the stuff you never use into your attic? There were a number of different systems to prepare shower pans, especially for linear drains. I didn't know that FastenMaster made hot melt. Good to know. And I like this company, Hardware Solutions. They're kind of an umbrella company for all kinds of hardware, including top knobs. And I especially like the line from Atlas Homewares. It was fun to see diagnostic equipment for glass, very expensive, but very cool. There was a color matching hardware app kind of thing that I'm sure could come in handy. And it's great to know that there's a pressure-sensitive tape console. Good to know. It was good to see the Keep Craft Alive crusade going on at the Fine Home Building booth. And this app here, which is called Bilt, provides instructions in the field. I think we're going to see this more and more as more and more people just have smartphones out in the field. And this provides step-by-step instructions about doing everything technically in the field. The Global Association for the Connected Home was there, and a whole zone of the show advancing that idea. So, of course, Google Home was there, offering us ways to talk to our houses and our equipment and lights and everything. The tech trend that I think does matter is ordering online, like these various cabinets and bathroom fixtures, et cetera, that are totally distributed online. I'd heard about it, but I got to see it. How about the refrigerator that you can play music from and even see what is inside your refrigerator? Okay? I think that's an appropriately absurd place to stop. But before I do, I want to leave you with my best of show. Here it is, Post-it Extreme Notes. Basically, painter's tape with Tyvek tough notes that you can leave everywhere and they won't fall off and they won't can be used inside and out. I love it. Well, with that, I headed home. I hadn't been to the Builder Show since 2015. Things were very different. The industry is very different, and it's a trip I recommend taking every 5 years or so. Hope you enjoyed it.